Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Monday, April the 22nd. Hope you are having a good day, good morning. If you're watching this later, hope you have a good day. So it is Monday. On the morning show, we look at the new releases that are being set into the wild this week. New releases only this week. And we look at a different genre every day of this week. So on Mondays, we look at the cozy mysteries. Tuesdays, we look at mysteries and thrillers. On Wednesdays, we look at romance. On Thursdays, we look at fantasy and science fiction. And on Friday is Freeform Friday. We look at anything else that has caught our attention or more cozies, because there's always a lot of those. Quick announcements. No sprints tonight on my channel. I believe they are on... Did I see it was on Storm's channel yesterday? We'll double check that. But my next sprints are on tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, and those go for 2.5 hours. I do every Tuesday and Thursday evening and Saturday afternoons. Kim says, good morning. Good morning to you. It's on Storms? Okay. So on Storm Reads. Okay, let me get rid of this banner. I finished 2 books yesterday, actually. I finished listening to the audiobook of Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. Fantastic. Fantastic. If you're interested in I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of a thriller, kind of a domestic thriller, kind of a cold case thriller. The audiobook is done fantastically. I am a really hard audience for audiobooks. The voice has to be right. The performance has to be perfect. And it is. This one is. It's Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera, and I found it for free on YouTube if you want to do it that way. And then I was in the middle of reading the new C.S. Harris, What Cannot Be Said. I think that's 19th in her series. That's one of my favorite historical mystery authors. So I finished that yesterday as well. Oh, that's right. And Elizabeth may do Sunday for Amish and April with Sarah. That's right. Next Sunday. It'd be nice to have her be able to jump in and do that. Fantastic. All righty. Let's look at some codes, mysteries. That. I hate it when it does that. I don't know what it does on your side because I'm in the middle of a transition. But it goes black for a second and I panic. Mr. and Mrs. Wilmot Investigate by Margaret Holbrook. Edward Wilmot is looking forward to relaxing, spending some time in the garden. In other words, he's looking forward to the quiet life now that he is retired. One person who Edward Wilmot has overlooked in all this planning is Millie, his wife of nearly 40 years. They do that. Millie thinks they should do more things together now that Edward has time on his hands, and Millie's ideas are nothing like Edward's, as he soon discovers. She doesn't want the quiet life. Millie wants to turn her hand to sleuthing, and she'd like Edward to help. Okay. And that was the book I was talking about. We're out of practice. It's been 2 whole days. And apparently there's a dog. I'm reading Murder on Tour by V.M. Burns, caught up on series. You love being caught up on series, but then you have to wait. And it's like, oh. All right, let's see if I've got the rhythm of this now. Research Can Be Murder by Carol Janis. Kind of like the spelling of that. That's kind of cool. Emma Straight hated to admit she was bored, but her newly retired brother puts an end to that by dropping a stash of old family memorabilia on her doorstep. Cheered on by her best friend, Emma enthusiastically dives into these boxes of antique treasures. But some faded diary pages convince her that century-old jewel thefts, and maybe something worse, are tied in with their past. Eager to dig deeper into this mysterious puzzle by doing some serious research, She settles into a neglected New York City archive with an eccentric cast of characters, but more sinister matters than history soon unfold when a fellow researcher is murdered, and Emma's determination to solve the case makes her a dead center target for the killer. That sounds kind of cute. I like the cover. Jealousy, Jitterbug, and Murder, a Stacey Maroney mystery number 10 by Krista Nardi. Three young women, a dance studio, a bungled kidnapping, and a murder. When Stacey Maroney is mistakenly abducted, she fears for the life of the intended victim. The young woman, who worked at the same company as Stacey, soon turns up dead. With the kidnappers afraid Stacey could identify them, threats lurk around every corner. Add the victim's two friends and a tech company with a dance-oriented employee program. A quick lesson in the Jitterbug provides more clues as Stacy navigates the twists and turns of the murder. It's just strange. The Jitterbug. '24 Carrot Murder. Carrot as in the vegetable. By Heather Marie Reeves. Fourth in a Holiday Cove mystery series. Spring has sprung in Holiday Cove, and the Easter Bunny is bringing murder and mayhem. Charlie Flynn and her friends are back in the last book of the holiday. Oh, this is the last book. This will be their most hair-raising adventure yet. Charlie Flynn has never been good at change, and she's doing her best to roll with the punches. When her new assistant is found dead at the old abandoned high school she's renovating, this might be the punch excuse me, that knocks her out. Even though there is no sign of foul play, Charlie is convinced Nicole Marin's death is a murder. All the information Detective Riley Webb has to go on is the witness of a young girl found at the scene, but she's got secrets of her own. The girl's story brings up painful memories from Charlie's past that she's forced to confront. To make matters worse, Andy Brock is back in town. Can Charlie trust him one more time, or will he break her heart for good? And these are the ones coming out tomorrow. Some of them, whoa, are big names. Sorry, copies required. I still have a tickle in my nose. Murder Most French by Colleen Cambridge. I've read her other series, but I've not jumped into this one yet. Second, in American in Paris Mysteries. Post-war Paris is surging back to life, and its citizens are seizing every opportunity to raise a glass or share a delicious meal. But as American expat Tabitha Knight and chef-in-training Julia Child discover, celebrations can quickly go awry when someone has murder in mind. The graceful domes of Sacré-Cœur, the imposing Cathedral of Notre Dame, the breathtaking Tour Eiffel. Paris is overflowing with stunning architecture, yet for Tabitha Knight, the humble building that houses the Cordon Bleu cooking school where her friend Julia studies is just as notable. Tabitha is always happy to sample Julia's latest creation and try to recreate dishes for her grand-père and Uncle Rafe. Whatever. The legendary school also holds open demonstrations where the public can see its master chefs at work. It's a treat for any aspiring cook until one of the chefs pours himself a glass of wine from a rare vintage bottle and promptly drops dead in front of Julia, Tabitha, and other assembled guests. It's the first in a frightening string of poisonings that turn grimly personal when cyanide-laced wine is sent to someone very close to Tabitha. Say, I have read. What do you mean not found? There's another way to skin that cat. Or it doesn't exist anymore. It does not exist anymore. Okay. Well, we tried. Who wrote that first one? Hang on a second. Thank you. The very, very first one, that was by Margaret Holbrook, if you're meaning the Mr. and Mrs. Wilmot Investigate. Margaret Holbrook. Forbidden Relics, a classic murder mystery novel, Matthew Paine mystery book number 6 by Lee Clark. I'm not a fan of the cover. An intense search for Ukrainian missionaries amidst a dense Russian born population. What could possibly go wrong? That was the last sarcastic thought of young physician Matthew Paine before he agreed to go find them. Following their trail to Florida, Matthew learns that 2 of the 4 missionaries were assassinated and then submerged, car and all, in a tumultuous channel north of Miami. Vowing to find the other 2, a husband and wife with 4 small children, alive, he presses on despite endangering himself. A decades-old leather notebook containing Cold War secrets, a shrouded covert distress message from a deceased KGB agent, and spies impersonating pastors. Add chanting Byzantine monks, and none of it makes any sense. What is the common thread, and who would be driven to murder for any of it? Matthew refuses to believe the missionaries are involved, but could he be dead wrong? Maybe it's personal, perhaps it's political, and have treasure brokers become ruthless killers? Is Matthew in their crosshairs? Can stop those questions? Can he bring the endangered missionaries to safety before he becomes the next target? Read it. Oh, so many questions so early. Back off, dude. A murdered like a mermaid at the cove. A witchy paranormal cozy mystery. Let's double check the date. Guess we're okay. They all sound the same. I'm sorry. Yes, thanks. I was spelling Wilmot wrong. Okay. Yeah, that was a cute cover. This is by S. Usher Evans. First in the Witch's Cove, Paranormal Cozy Mysteries. There are like 100 of them out there now. A hapless witch, a dead mermaid, and a beachside bar with money problems. What else could go wrong? I don't know. Joe Maelstrom's avoidance problems hit an all-time high when, after weeks of dodging her grandmother's calls, she got a text that Big Joe had died suddenly. Now back in Eldred's Hollow, a supernatural haven on the Gulf Coast of Alabama, Jo is forced to reckon with her past and the severe lack of magic that sent her running in the first place. Her grandmother's bar and marina, Witch's Cove, is in some dire financial straits, and there are more than a few people with ulterior motives itching to take it off her hands. But when the leader of the local mermaid clan washes up dead on the shore, they are real mermaids, I guess. Jo finds herself embroiled in the question of who and why, and does it have anything to do with her own grandmother's mysterious death? Probably. Death at the Doorstep by Linda W. Fitzgerald. First in the Karen Nimi mysteries. A celebrity psychic is murdered, a computer science student dies mysteriously, and Michigan's favorite college town will never be the same. It's fall in Ann Arbor, and the locals are focused on their favorite blood sport, politics. Everyone is buzzing about the highly suspect midterm elections. Everyone, that is, except freelance writer and recent widow Karen Mimi. All she wants is to be left alone with her cat, her work, and her seemingly endless grief. But her best friend, Bixie, has other plans for her, plans that include a session with Dana Lewis, Ann Arbor's celebrity psychic and energy healer. Problem is, when Karen arrives for her appointment, she stumbles onto a murder scene. Soon, suspicion falls on Dana's daughter, Isabel, also a close friend of Bixie's. Before she knows it, Karen is drawn into do-it-yourself murder investigation that leads her into the heart of a Big Ten university. The remarkably messy lives of Ann Arbor's social and political elite and the esoteric realm of black hat geeks and black box voting, and the treacherous currents of a very unwise sexual attraction. Everything but the kitchen sink is thrown into that one. Double Espresso Deception by Agatha Frost, 10th in the Claire's Candles Cozy Mysteries. This is April 30th, which would be more next week. Hopefully we can find it then. But this is this week. A twinkle, a twinkle of, you want to say twubble. A Twinkle of Trouble, a Fairy Garden Mystery by Daryl Wood Gerber. Carmel by the Sea garden shop owner Courtney Kelly sees things others can't, like fairies and hidden motives for murder. That's an interesting combination of talents. Courtney is delighted when her tiny friend Fiona returns from the fairy realm, appearing at the base of a cypress tree. When her ragdoll cat Pixie emerges from her own portal, aka the cat door, the three set off for a busy day, busier than usual since Courtney has rented a small plot of land at the flower farm where she hopes to grow her own supplies for her fairy garden business. Plus, the annual Summer Blooms Festival is coming up and Courtney has booked a booth. But the murder of Courtney's friend Genevieve casts a pall over the festival. Ever since Genevieve sold her floral business, she's been building a career as an influencer. She was perennially opinionated, but in her new role, she'd become surprisingly vicious, dissing local entrepreneurs with nasty posts and unwarranted bad reviews. That's landed a couple of Courtney's other friends on the suspect list, including flower farm owner Daphne Flores. And when a second victim is discovered, seeds of doubt about Daphne's innocence sprout in Courtney's mind. With only a germ of a clue, Courtney will have to overturn every rock to get the dirt on the real killer. Oh, yeah, they're considering that a cozy. I don't think so. We're gonna do a little leapfrog there. Silenced by the Sword by Susan Harper, 5th in the Greta Carragher British Cozy Mystery Series. 124 pages. A cozy mystery from blah blah blah. Silence by the Sword is the 5th and final story in the Greta Carragher in this series. If you like fast-paced mysteries with interesting characters, troublesome pets, and unexpected twists, you're going to this adventure in jolly old England. There is nothing about this. That was a whole bunch of nothing. And with that nothing, you expect somebody to say, yes, I'm absolutely intrigued. I want to read this. No. Bizarre. I mean, some of these go on way too long and give away the plot, but goodness. There are a lot this week that look good. Yeah. I like this. It's good to have options and be intrigued. Graven Images, a Rock Creek Village cozy mystery. This is 6th in the Callie Cassidy Mysteries by Lori Roberts Herbst. A photo assignment at the cemetery leads Callie Cassidy to a corpse, this one above ground. Now her search for the killer unearths some long-buried secrets. Callie's mother, Maggie, a notorious hobby jumper. I've never heard that, but that's probably me. Has embarked on a new pursuit, grave rubbing. Okay, I wouldn't do that though. When she recruits her daughter to photograph her first endeavor at the local cemetery, Callie brings golden retriever Woody and tabby cat Carl along for the outing. Why would you bring a cat? It's a breathtaking autumn morning in Rock Creek Village, Colorado. Golden aspen leaves rustle in the cool breeze, and the air is filled with the scent of pine. What could go wrong on a day like this? Then a ghostly woman emerges from the trees, bleeding from a head wound and claiming to have no memory of how she arrived or even who she is. Maggie quickly identifies her as a woman who disappeared from the village 40 years ago without a trace. Okay. It's that If that's not enough intrigue, Woody disobeys her and sprints deeper into the cemetery. When Callie catches up to him, he is sitting sentinel at the tombstone of a recently deceased villager, and behind the stone, a man lies on the ground with a pickaxe jutting from his neck. Ill. Callie recognizes him as the low level mobster who has been dating her best friend Tanya's mother, and they've been having problems. Did Tanya's mother kill the man? Not with an axe. Could it have been the mysterious woman, or maybe someone with ties to his crime family? There's a whole lot going on in that one, too, which I think is the equivalent of saying, bless her heart in Southern. Now, this cover has me intrigued. A Corpse in the Castle, fifth in the Polly Pepper series by Richard Tyler Jordan. Do you see this blurb here? What if Carol Burnett had starred in Murder, She Wrote? Hollywood icon Polly Pepper receives the ultimate tribute when she inherits a rundown English castle from a devoted fan. But a fan bequeathed a castle? But owning a castle is no fairy tale, especially when it comes with a resident ghost and a murder investigation. Polly's dream of turning the castle into a lucrative tourist destination and upscale wedding venue hits a snag when the loathsome housekeeper, Gwelyn Clog, is found dead in the larder. The police write it off as a heart attack, but Polly's convinced there's something more sinister at play. With the help of her sassy maid Tiara, her adult but still living at home son Tim, an arrogant cat named Mr. Boots, and a cast of curious characters from the village, Polly sets out on a heart-pounding and hilarious quest to uncover the truth and catch the killer before she becomes the next victim. We gotta see what the first one looks like. I love those covers. A Talent for Murder is the first one. Huh. I am intrigued. Oh, stop commercialing. Especially with food. All righty. We're going to end the morning with chocolate, as one should. Okie dokie. Well, that's the start of the week. We'll be looking at more cozies throughout the week if the pickings are slim in the other genres, but we'll definitely be looking at them again on Friday. There's always a lot. Tomorrow we'll be looking at mysteries / thrillers. So I have not peeked ahead, so I don't know if it's if there's good selections or not. Last week we had a bunch, and there were some big names too. So we shall see. Again, no sprints tonight on my channel. They are on Storm's channel, Storm Reads. We'll be here tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Otherwise, again, tomorrow morning, looking at mysteries and thrillers. Hope you have a good Monday. Please take care of yourself. Read good books because that's what they're there for. They're not there for you to suffer through. They're there for enjoyment. If you're not enjoying it, it's okay to set it aside. It's just not the right time. It's okay. And have a good day. You too, Kim. Thank you so much. As the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Have a good day and God bless.